Hey, welcome back to episode number 170 of the Vishwanath Church. It's a beautiful morning here. I hope you're having a great time. Today is part 10 of 7 days to happier life. We've crossed 7 days. It's a really wonderful journey. I'm really thrilled that, the breakthroughs we have made, the feedback we have received. It's really, really wonderful.
You ask questions and I answer them. This is the Ask Sri Vishwanath Show.
We took some questions yesterday. Today, there's this other question, and so we'll run through this. This is going to be a beautiful thing. This is going to be the last part. It's really a wonderful journey. So here's the question, from the person who says, I saw your videos, all so wonderful, made a lot of breakthroughs. I want to thank you for that. Thank you very much. It says, this damn thinking, these gunas just keep haunting me. What do I do? And so this is very important, and this is a mixture of questions. A lot of people wrote different things, so I just combined it together. So that's very good. The first thing is you identify the enemy, which is it's coming from the gunas and not you. So you've got to identify the enemy before you strike it. That's very, very important. And so today we are going to, look at, I'm going to give you, more mileage, so that, you have more horsepower and you drive your vehicles more faster and speeder and cut through these, thinking just as, lightning cuts through the trees, right? So here's what it is. Here's a wonderful story shared by Ramakrishna Paramahansa. There was a monk, and this monk, the monks wear dhotis. Dhotis are like, they get a white dhoti. Dhoti is, it's like a pant. It's not like a pant, but it's worn on the lower side, in the pant. And he had a dhoti, and so he was sleeping. He was all alone in the village. He was a monk, and he was sleeping at night. And there were rats, and the rats tore his dhoti. Made holes in his dhoti. And he was very upset, and he said, I got to fix this. And so he went to the market and brought a cat. He said, if I bring a cat, the cat will chase the rats. There will be no rats. So I could just sleep peacefully, and then I could get up and meditate in the morning very beautifully. So he brought a cat. And then, after he brought the cat, he said, the cats need milk, so what do I do? And he said, well, the best thing is I do it in-house. And so he went and got a cow. Because the cow will give milk, and so he could give that to the cat, and then the cat will take care of the rat. So he got a cow, and then he said, if I look after the cow, then I can't do my meditation, all that stuff. So let me have a servant. So he went, and he had certain funds or whatever it is. So he went to the market, and he went and hired a servant to look after the cow. And now the cow started multiplying, and so he said, I need a land, to where, all these cows can graze and all the things. So he procured lands, and then he had multiple cows. And then he said, I need more servants. So he had a big land, more, multiple cows and multiple servants, and soon he became a landlord. And then he said, well, I need someone to manage all these things. I need someone who can, really look into this, because otherwise I'll not be able to meditate. And he said, okay, I'll marry. So he went and married a beautiful woman in the village. And then he had children, and then what happened was, his children, as they, started growing, 1 year, 2 years, his children now started pulling his dhoti, and his dhoti got torn again. And it's such a humorous story that he started off wanting to, and then his friends came, to pay him a visit and said, what is this? They were stunned. They said, you were a monk and now you are, landlord. How this transition happened? And he shared this beautiful story that it all started with a torn dhoti, that the rat tore my dhoti, and then I ended up with now my children pulling and tying the dhoti. So all that happened was the fear only changed form. It's such a humorous story. I mean, I just can't, it always gives me, I just forget all my, all those things which keep bothering me, that all that he did, all that started was with the torn dhoti. The torn dhoti made him get a cat, the cat made him get a cow, the cow made him get a servant, the servant made him purchase, more cows and lands, to graze for the cow, more servants, landlord. Then he married, then he had children, and then he ended up the same children, small children, ended up pulling his dhoti and still it was getting torn. So much headache and so much nonsense. All this Maya all started with a torn dhoti. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is our first thinking, of fear, insecurity, doubt, which comes up from these gunas. When you get an external stimuli, you start thinking, right? That is nothing but the torn dhoti, and you start acting. So don't act, because if this monk would have endured a little bit of that rat thing and would have taken some other, he would not have to go through this whole route and get into his Maya and would have achieved nothing, because he didn't never get a chance to meditate and get to the center. So very important, because he acted on the stupid guna, all starting with the torn dhoti. So look at thinking as a torn dhoti. Now you got to endure, because otherwise you'll end up from that small botheration to such a huge snowball thing with so many things happening in his life, and he completely lost the center. And this is what happened. So this is so very important, that actually fear only changes form. Like by acting, he thought he could run away from the fear, but actually it just multiplied. And he didn't notice it when it got multiplied. Like he went and purchased a cat, then cow, and then the servants, and then the land, and he married and children. In the end, his children were pulling his dhoti, and they were tearing it. And so fear only changed its form, from the rat to his own children, and it all came back, and it was just appeared as if it's moving, by action. Fear doesn't go away, because that's what it is. So whenever you get this thinking, these gunas, which just look at it as a torn dhoti, give it that metaphor or whatever it is of a torn dhoti. Very, very important. Now you look at it, people in a relationship, they change partners, and they think, well, everything is going smooth, like this person, the cow, the milk, the grass, the land and man, and then again, they fear that, okay, I'll end this relationship, right? And so they get into another partner, and it's smooth for some time. Then again that fear comes, because you have not conquered the fear of that thing called, the relationship will end, because if I don't do this, she will feel better. She will feel that if I did this, he will not feel good, and all that stuff. You see, that fear of ending a relationship makes you start another relationship, but you never got out of that fear, and so you will again encounter that later on. There will be just some pleasant moment, and again you will encounter. So that action which most people take out of fear by getting into another relationship is, just going to make you face the fear back again after some time. So very, very important that fear only changes form, and you should not act on the gunas. You just look at it, and know that it will pass away. It's very, very important that it's all coming from the gunas. We got to be seated at the center and watch it. Of course, there's sometimes where you got to run, and you'll come to that later. So now look at it. How different is the fear of dying versus the fear of relationships, ending relationships, or fear of being removed from the job? All these are three, right? You might today have a fear of ending relationship, and might create doubt, confusion, and so much. But how different is it from fear of dying? How different is it from fear of removing it? Well, they're all the same, because fear just is changing forms. We didn't handle fear of ending relationship. We didn't handle fear of getting removed from the job. And so the fear just travels with us. See, fear, insecurity, doubt, we all collected it like a fool in a bucket in this gunas. And so we keep referring to all that stuff. So very, very important to look at it as a torn dhoti and cut it at the first instance. It's going to just snowball, and know that, so always know that when fear comes, we always feel when it clouds us, it's going to happen to you, right? And this is true, because we face such challenges here. Like, it's going to happen to you. But you should know that what happens is based on the outer script. It's already formed. You see, the circle is already formed. Even if I fear, let's say there's a tiger coming, and obviously I will fear, I'll sweat, and I don't know what I'll do, but that fear will come. But what has to happen, whether I die or I'm alive, is already fixed. The circle is drawn. My fear has got nothing to do with it. So you should always know that my fear, my thinking is useless, because it comes from the gunas like a torn dhoti. It's useless because what has going to happen is already formed. So the fear only makes us feel that it's going to happen to us, but what is going to happen is already based on the script. And so this is very, very important. If you can discriminate this, and if you just look at this again and again, maybe you don't get it in the first instance, maybe you get it in the second, third, fourth, but just do this because this is what it is. Fear only appears, it's good. So I get this fear and look at it, and suddenly about 1 hour pass, you say, but this has got nothing to do with what's going to happen to me because this is already fixed, right? It's true that the gunas, because of the gunas, the script was formed, but the script is already drawn, and these gunas do two jobs. One, it forms the script, and the other is it makes you react. So very, very important. And based on how you react, your script of the next circle, next lifetime will be formed. So very, very important that you've got to discriminate. This circle is already formed. Nothing will change it. Your fear is baseless. And this is very, very important. So don't try to connect that which is disconnected. You see, these two are disconnected. Your fear of something happening and that which happens. Don't try to connect that because that is disconnected. And even though many times it might happen, like what you fear might happen, but that has got nothing to do with it. That circle is already fixed. That is clear, crisp understanding. And so just drop that down, thinking like, the tone dhoti. Here's something very important. I want you to write this down because this is so very important. So I hope you're paying full attention. See, there's a seed and there's a fruit, right? Seed is your part. Like my part is I write a job, I do a video. Whether you watch it or you throw stones at me, I can't do, or you praise me, I can't do anything. But I'm dependent on you in terms of viewership, right? So my part is I do my part well. I plan the stories, I do a good video, I upload it. So that's my part, seed. And the fruit is based on my karma, the viewership, the accolades or the stones, they come, and that is the part of the karma world. So here's what it is. I want you to pay careful attention. Thinking, now if I start thinking, what is it? Oh, how will people, react to this video? What will people say? Would they like it? Would anyone see it? Would I get 0 views or 1 million views? See, now thinking, and I want you to write down because this is a golden sentence. Thinking is always associated with wanting to change that which is not under your control. You see, this is so powerful. Whenever you are thinking, there's fear, insecurity, doubt, or anything, pleasure, it's always like it's associated with wanting to change that which is not under your control. So it's baseless. My part is only this. Like we are always thinking about the other side, about the karma side, about the fruit side, about what the others will do. I have no control over how you will react, how you will view it. So our thinking is so faulty. It's like the tone dhoti. It's associated with wanting to change that which is not under my control. And so just destroy thinking. Just write this sentence and write it 1,000 times. Thinking is always associated with that which is not under my control. So why get into it? Just do your part. Very, very important. Like you might board a plane and the fear might come that, what if terrorists attack, or what if the pilot just, was sleeping in the cockpit or whatever in the flight. So your part is you can buy a ticket, but thinking is associated with trying something which is not under your control. You marry and you fear backlash from your partner, or you fear end of separation. It's useless. In relationship, if you're thinking, just destroy it because you do your part. You do your part well. You make your presence felt, make the other person feel good. You don't have to worry how the other partner thinks. If it's a man, you don't have to worry how your wife thinks. If you're wife, you don't have to worry how your husband thinks. You do your part well and destroy that thinking, because you cannot do anything about what the other person, the way the other person thinks, acts. And if you feel that you can do that, you are a big fool, because that's never going to happen. Don't be smart, please, because this is very important. Because what we are doing is we have to destroy thinking, and by that we will win massive amounts of happiness. Like you write a book and you fear that no one will read it. Now that thinking is useless. Just drop it. When it comes first time, just drop it. Let it come and let it go. That's how it is. You go for a medical check and you fear the doctor is going to screw up. And this is real, right? This happens every day because someone shares a story and say, oh, this doctor screwed me up, and then you are next in the line, you said, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? I'm like a guinea pig. This counts. That time, remember this. And that's why you got to prepare when things are going good. And that's what I always do, because when things are bad, nothing of that is going to work, because the preparation is not there, and so you're going to do perfect. So do all this when your stuff is good. Because what is clarity? Clarity is when you do your part well and have faith that the fruit will come out well, and you are detached because you're really not bothered about the outer circle. You do your part of staying in the center, withdraw the gunas, and you're detached from the outer circle. That is clarity, and that is what will bring you happiness. That's why write this verse: the sage neither hates light, action, delusion when it appears, nor seek them when they disappear. So the sage, when there's fear, insecurity, doubt, when there's thinking, pleasure, even all pleasure is also a form of thinking. It's just a different form. All this comes. The sage neither immediately acts on all these gunas. Sage neither, hates a sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. He looks at all that same. And sage neither hates light, action, delusion when they appear, nor seek them when they disappear. So when these thoughts have gone, when these gunas have gone, still he does not chase them. Like we keep chasing them, like something bad happens, we keep on bringing it back from here, and we poison our being. The sage is always detached from the gunas, and that is why he is detached from the outer circle. So that was the secret of detachment. You got to be detached from the gunas, because you got to be detached from thinking, because thinking is always associated with wanting to change that which is not in their control. So that is what is detachment, as simple as that. So we got to see God. You got to see God very close to us. Ramakrishna said the greatest strength of great people is they don't see God as something outside or some powerful. They see God, don't see God at a distance. They see it very close to them. See it here. I look at God as coming here. It's in front of me. Like she's there here right now. Ramakrishna has seen that. You give your God a form, a Christ, a Buddha, or give it some beautiful, some sort of a form that you can see not very closely, right in front of your eyes. You can see it as closer to it. So you get tremendous power. Here's a secret I want you to write. Write this down. Fear is a false alarm. Doubt is a false alarm. Insecurity is a false alarm. This is very, very important. Thinking is a false alarm. So just like you wake up when the alarm, you just shut down, no, I want to go to sleep. No, this is a false alarm. Go to sleep, you say to your thinking. Very, very important. Go to sleep. It's a false alarm. Very, very important. Now, another story. This story, because sometimes we got to run. This is Adi Shankaracharya, the great proponent of, he was talking about Maya and all these things. And, then a mad elephant was coming in the forest, and the mahout who is in charge of the elephant and all those saying, run, 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 because the mad elephant is coming, and everyone, including Adi Shankaracharya, was running to save their lives. And then the mad elephant passed by, and then everyone again got seated, and one of the persons said to Adi Shankaracharya, well, you are a sage. Why did you run? Because you told us that everything is Maya, so why don't you consider the elephant as Maya? Why did you run? Adi Shankaracharya said, well, if you consider the elephant as Maya, then consider my running for my life also as Maya. So that's very important. So Maya doesn't mean you act like a fool, Maya just means you know where to discriminate. So if a mad elephant is so Adi Shankaracharya said, if you think the elephant is Maya, consider my running also as Maya. Very, very important. So you got to know when to run and when not to. You see, all these other thoughts, ending relationships, about lack of abundance, whether you do something and say, oh, will I get a job, will I make sales, will the people accept me or reject me? All that sort, you got to destroy, because all that is nonsense, just so much foolishness that we didn't even learn this in school, college, no one taught us. God alone knows what we learn. So that's very important. If you look at it, fear just changes form. And you look at it, pain, doubt, even pleasure, clarity, pleasure, power, money, craving for money. All these are nothing but phases of thinking. You see, thinking just moves around. These gunas move around. Craving for money, craving for bodily pleasure, fear, insecurity, doubt, all these are different forms, and that's why the great one says Sama Dharshana, which means detached from the gunas always in the center, looking at all the pleasant, the sattvic thinking, the tamas thinking, rajasic thinking is saved. Very, very important. You get that, you destroy thinking. Look at it as a torn dhoti. Every time that the thinking comes, look at it as a torn dhoti. Very, very important. So, you got to see fear. Okay, whenever you get this fear, even if you're going to bad times, you look at it as a torn dhoti and look at fear through the eyes of God. You see, we have got two choices whenever you can write it, you can have a notepad and write it down when you're really fearful. And you've got two choices. You can see through your eyes, right? All the things when you feel fearful. And so write. First step is write all the things that you fear. Oh, I'm fearing this. On the right hand side, the left hand side, you see through the eyes of God. So on the right hand side, you see through your own eyes, normal eyes, through the eyes of the gunas, and you write step 1, right. And step 2 is on the left hand side, see through the eyes of God. Like what if Krishna or Christ or see through your center, your consciousness, and observe what you wrote. So you write first on the right hand side, and then you see, you meditate, open your eyes, and you see through in the left hand side, you see through the eyes of God. And you just observe what you wrote, and then destroy it. And that is the meditation. That is the greatest meditation. You'll get really good at it. You'll know that all this thinking is just foolishness. Write all the things that you fear and insecurity out every day. Do this. On the right hand side, see through the eyes of your normal eyes, the thinking part. And write it. Write those sentences clearly. And then on the left hand side, you say, I'm going to see through the eyes of God. And then you begin your meditation. And then you observe what you wrote. Observe what you wrote. That is your greatest meditation. Then destroy it through all this knowledge. Just as fire burns everything to ashes, the fire of knowledge destroys all works to ashes. And you do this 1 time, 2 times, 10 times, 100 times, 101st time, it will become very, very natural. Write, observe. That's meditation. Destroy it. And that's how you be at the center. And that is how it is. If you don't, like we come back, most people what do? People are born, and what do? They are searching for happiness before, when they were born. They went to school, college, and all this stuff. They're searching for happiness. Some became beggars, some became kings, wealthy billionaires, some got married, had beautiful relations, some had horrible relations, some had a lot of money, some had very horrible money, some had very good health, some did not have very good health. But what were they doing before? They were searching for happiness. And what are they doing now? They are still searching for happiness. Both the king and the beggar. Both the one who's got abundance of everything in money, health, relation, the one who is lacking. Earlier they were searching for happiness. Even now they are searching for happiness. They all are in square one, just like the stone dhoti. From the rat to the child who is still pulling it down. But you are not the same, because we are going to do this exercise. We are going to do all these things, and we are going to destroy it through transcendence that we don't want. We were never searching for happiness, because our pursuit of happiness has all ended here in this circle. We are always seated in this circle, and we are not searching for happiness before, and we are not searching for happiness later. We have just discovered it for eternity, and will never ever be displaced from that. So that is very important. That's the whole goal, and feeling so wonderful and blessed. I hope you enjoyed this whole 10 episode, more than about 5 hours. You do write back to me. I hope you enjoyed these videos. You keep asking questions and I keep answering.